YouTube? Welcome to a DMG Gaming and Adventures episode for an instant reaction to WWE Smackdown Live tonight from June 19th, 2018. So, just three things I wanted to discuss as far as an instant reaction to tonight's show. The first one I wanted to discuss was the debut of Sanity. Now, Sanity is a group that's headed by Eric Young, who has made a name for himself in other promotions, and whose group actually gained a very good following and had a lot of momentum in WWE NXT. Now they're finally arriving at the main roster after it was announced during the roster shakeup that they would be coming. It actually took a while for them to arrive here. I don't have any inside information if that was due to some kind of injury or they were just waiting for the correct time to debut the team. But they finally arrived at WWE SmackDown, and they made an impact tonight attacking the Usos, who had basically been the measuring bar for WWE SmackDown's tag team division. Personally, I do hope that the WWE SmackDown creative team has something in store for them that doesn't totally tarnish or diminish what they accomplished in NXT, because that seems recently to be a problem with NXT call-ups. They arrive at the main roster, and any momentum that they had in development gets completely squandered and destroyed when they arrive at the main roster. And that extends to a lot of superstars that have been called up. It extends to Drew McIntyre, who's somewhat just one of the guys on Monday Night Raw. It extends to Asuka, who was an absolute female dominant presence in NXT and who hasn't been the same in the main roster call-up. It just seems that these people get called up and creative really doesn't have an idea for them, doesn't have a direction for them. They just want to have new talent called up, and that's what ends up happening. They get lost in the shuffle. So I'm hoping that the same thing doesn't happen to NXT. They're a different look, they're a different style, they're a different taste. They're just plain and simply, they're just different. So I'm hoping that they're able to have some momentum as they go forward. The second thing I would like to talk about, something a little bit more concerning to me, and while I would never accuse or expect that the WWE is purposely out to try to harm someone or get somebody hurt, I've been questioning for a while now the handling of Daniel Bryan since his return to the main roster, and since his return to the active roster, I should say. I don't get it. It seems like every match that he's in is involving a very well-known stiff wrestler. He's in there taking a grueling amount of punishment that I just do not understand, between the Greatest Royal Rumble, between fighting against Samoa Joe, between fighting Big Cass, fighting Rusev. It just seems like he's continuously being put in there against these stiff wrestlers, these long, grueling matches, and I don't understand what the WWE's long-term vision is with having him endure all this punishment. Like I said, I would never accuse them of trying to get somebody hurt, but someone who doesn't really know how the business works would assume they're trying to get him put back on the shelf permanently, because it just doesn't make any sense. Even tonight, the run-in, which I would assume was probably going to be the role for Big Cass before his release earlier today, by the Bludgeon Brothers, just taking a powerbomb from the Bludgeon Brothers after he just had an enormously grueling match against Samoa Joe. I don't see the need for him to continue to take these unnecessary bumps. From the very moment he has been cleared, he has just been taking these grueling bumps. It started the first night that he was back, where he took a powerbomb from Kevin Owens on the outside of the ring. He took the boot to the face from Sami Zayn. He's taken just beating after beating after beating, and I know that his character at the end of the day is the proverbial underdog that overcomes the odds, but at some point you would think the WWE has to say, hey, he actually has a very good following, he has a fan base, we need to protect him a little bit. It's not unheard of. They did it with Stone Cold Steve Austin, where they modified his schedule, where they modified what moves he can take in order to protect him. They've done it with other wrestlers in the past before that. They did it with Shawn Michaels when he returned to active competition, where there were certain moves he could not take because of a surgically repaired back. So I don't understand what this vision is for the WWE. I'm a big fan of workhorses. I was a die-hard Shawn Michaels fan. I'm a big fan of AJ Styles, as you can see from my shirt. But that current direction with Daniel Bryan, I sincerely don't understand. The final thing I wanted to just touch on tonight about the WWE SmackDown Live episode was something that WWE, in my opinion, finally got right. New blood injected into the main event scene. They finally have rewarded somebody who was able to go out there and get over on their own, which was Rusev. Rusev has gotten over with his Rusev Day gimmick. It was something that I guarantee the WWE never expected or anticipated was actually going to take off the way it did. But he was able to get it over, and he has created a very loyal and solidified fan base behind him. And him now being inserted into the main event scene against AJ Styles gives a fresh feud for WWE SmackDown, gives a fresh feud for AJ Styles, and gives a fresh look to the main event scene in general, with now Rusev getting the opportunity and seeing if he's able to move the needle, so to speak, and basically become a permanent member of that main event scene. It's a long way he's come from just a couple of weeks ago or a couple of months ago when he was wrestling The Undertaker in a squash match where he was thrown into a casket. He's worked his way all the way back, and you got to give him credit. That's perseverance, and that's hard work of him being able to prove to the people that probably doubted him that, hey, I can get this done. I've always been a fan of Rusev, even back in his NXT days. I always thought that he was a unique look, where he was somebody who was agile, big guy, and now we're seeing that he actually has a really fun personality that can relate to a lot of WWE Universe members. So that's all I wanted to discuss tonight. I want to hear what the WWE Universe has to say. I want to hear what your opinions are about tonight's WWE SmackDown Live episode. There was a couple of other big developments, or not big developments, but new developments as far as storylines and feuds. We kind of saw Shinsuke is going to kind of take a step back into the high mid cards out of the main event scene, as it looks like they're starting up a program with him and Jeff Hardy that has some potential to it. And obviously, you still have the Carmella and Asuka feud still going now with James Ellsworth back in the mix. He's been brought back. From what I hear, I did not follow him once he was released from WWE, but I heard he's been doing great work in the independent scene, doing a lot of interaction with female wrestlers. So my guess or my assumption is the WWE caught wind of this, and they felt it would be a perfect place to interject him back into the main event roster next to Carmella and kind of be her proverbial, take the bullet for me type character. But yeah, I want to hear what the WWE Universe has to say. I want to hear what your opinions are about the things I discussed tonight. Give me a like on this video. Please subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments below. If you do leave a comment, I'll be more than happy to interact and have conversations with any members of the WWE Universe. And we'll see what this goes. Like I said, I'm really excited about the upcoming main event now with Alexander Rusev versus AJ Styles. And yes, I said Alexander Rusev since that was his original name when he debuted. I'm really excited about where it's going. I think it's kind of going to be a good shot in the arm for WWE SmackDown to have a fresh feud, and very much like when they brought Jinder Mahal over, although you've kind of had mixed returns with Jinder Mahal's main event push, it's still a new face, a new pace, and I guess a new blood in the main event scene. And at the end of the day, that's something, in my opinion, that can only help the WWE SmackDown Live brand help continue to grow. Again, thank you for watching. Please leave a like, please subscribe, please leave a comment below, and I'll see you next time.